We are stood outside Smithfield Meat Market, a market which has traded for nearer 1,000 years. But unfortunately, we're about to lose it. Just like Spitalfields being moved out to Leighton, or Covent Garden being moved down to Lambeth, or Billingsgate Market that was on Lower Thames Street being moved out to the outskirts of East London. This is about to go. And people think that there are lots of markets in London. There aren't, not real ones, not that date back to medieval times. This market was allegedly first used in the 1100s, and if it was used in the first half of the 12th century, then it would have been Norman. It's unsurprising that it became the main place for people to buy and sell meat. Now, originally, this place was a field. Smithfield translates to smooth field, which is why it was perfect for grazing and selling meat. Eventually, over time, over hundreds of years, it became more and more well known, more used, until eventually, in the 1800s, the late end of the 19th century, the building we see here was erected after being designed by Horace Jones in Victorian England, the man that also created Leadenhall Market and Tower Bridge, a very talented architect. And now it stands as a testament of the Victorian era. But very soon, it, like everything else, will go. And the markets now, such as Covent Garden or Borough Market, which is also on a site of a market which has been there a very long time, these are overly gentrified and they're just places for tourists. They're not actually places where you can get a sense of London and those within it. And this is a crying shame. Pubs and cafes locally, they all really benefited and had a higher standard because of it. So just over there is probably my favourite cafe, Bepe's Cafe. Now, Bepe's Cafe gets its meat from Smithfield Meat Market. What does this mean? Well, it means that it can explain why it's my favourite cafe, because its produce is so bloody good. And when I go to most other cafes, they do sort of pale in insignificance. Don't get it wrong, there are lots of lovely cafes, but the cafes that surrounded Smithfield Meat Market were the best because of the standard of meat. And that should tell you everything about what happens when you put loads of butchers together and the competition and standards that are raised as a result. They maintain that standard. Restaurants around here as well, they would, or still do, circumnavigate onto Smithfield Meat Market to get the best meat, because each of them, as I said, they're competing as to who's got the best shop, who's got the best product, and therefore it maintains that heightened standard, which will fall when this market ends up somewhere that's more difficult for some people to get to. As well as that, you had, not just here, but in markets, even now you will see this. You will see the Market Porter down in Borough Market. You'll see the Fox and Anchor just around the corner, great pub. These were pubs that had early licenses because the market traders lived unusual hours. So when you're waking up, getting dressed, they're stopping work and going in for a pint. And that's why the Fox and Anchor still has the early license, like the Market Porter. Now the Market Porter is a great memory of what Borough Market used to be, but when this goes, what will the Fox and Anchor be? When this just becomes another Covent Garden? Because when we're in Covent Garden now, yes, there's some beautiful, lovely pubs and it's a great historic area, but it's like the heart of these pubs have been ripped out. And with this area, it's in the heart of what is the financial district, but mixed with that working class element. So you have the best of both. You can go to a flash wine bar if you like, or you have some great down-to-earth cafes and pubs. But they are probably going to go by the wayside when this becomes just another gentrified area. I won't talk too much about them, but it's lovely to see these phone boxes here. I wonder if they'll just be placed somewhere in one of the red phone box cemeteries somewhere, or they'll be protected. I don't know. I mean, most people today just use them as urinals, really. But anyway, now something about Covent Garden Market is the type of people that make it what it is and made it what it was. A very special breed of people that would have to earn their keep, earn their right. It's not like most other jobs, and Smithfield Meat Market, like many other markets, sort of lacks that political correctness that you'll get in the corporate world. It's quite a tough, gritty environment, and historically it wasn't the place to mess about. It wouldn't be the sort of place where you came along and started mouthing off, because the butchers argue among each other enough, never mind what they'll do to yourself if you're going to cause a problem for them. They were a very hardened crowd that work difficult hours. Many marriages were destroyed by their late hours, but they became a genuine family, a genuine sense of camaraderie, which obviously has decreased over time as things have changed. And these faces here are some of the, even if they're high earners, they're still down to earth, really good people that you won't see here anymore. They'll be pushed into the outskirts of East London, where only the traders or people going to buy will see them. Now you could be walking through here and bump into them, walk through that out of interest if you're here early enough, and you could actually experience real Londoners, real people that aren't, shall we say, sugar-coated and affected by what people working in an office are, where they're all tiptoeing around each other. You go in there, someone will offend you to your face because you're looking at the meat for too long. And there's something, strangely, there's something charming about it. And when this is moved out, as I was speaking about before, the working class element will be completely gone, and it will feel very stale and stagnant. Just before we move on, because I could talk about this particular point all day. If you go and watch old documentaries, old videos about the market, you'll see exactly what I'm saying. You'll see the sort of characters, and they'll all be saying exactly what I'm saying. And they play tricks on each other. And just round the corner was a very important pub to them. Though they'd use all the pubs, the Cock Tavern was somewhere that they would all go and socialise, either create or solve some of the issues they'd caused among each other. And just ultimately, they saw each other far more than they did their own wives. I don't think people understand how much London, its history, and its very source of power. Oh, it's all very well thanking the corporation of London or thinking about kings and queens, but these men were what fueled Britain. And just before I close up, just have a look at Horace Jones' design from the inside. Just come over here for me. So for now, you've still got time to come and see this, but apparently it will be gone sometime in 2028. So time catches up real quick. So make the most of this view now while you can. Come here for me and have a look in there. Lots and lots of people recognise this, know it, but one day that's going to be gone. Well, the function it serves now anyway. So what you can see here is the construction of what's going to be the new Museum of London. Now, I've said this elsewhere. The truth is, Smithfield, in a functioning form, is exactly like a pub that's been operating for centuries. It is a living museum. You can set up a new museum anywhere. This is already a functioning museum. That makes it even more special than somewhere with a load of glass in it, with little plaques. Yes, I'm going to love the fact that there are artifacts being preserved, but they already had a home. Now, apparently, because there was discussion whether it was going to move to Dagenham or elsewhere, apparently it's going to move somewhere around Albert Dock. Now, There's a lot of people saying, oh, it's going to have better parking. It's going to be better for the traders. There's going to be a lot more room. Look, the truth is, these markets, whether it's this one, Smithfield, Covent Garden, the point is they were central London. They made London's heartbeat. It's where normal people thrived. Throwing them all out, as I mentioned before, is just corporatizing the world. I don't care if you give them 1 million acres in the countryside, it's no longer central London. The restaurants far and wide still have the ability, whether you're in West London or East London or South London, North London obviously, it's still accessible because Farringdon is mainly the central point of London, near enough to get to. But when you throw it down the Docklands, if you're now out in Brentwood or somewhere, all of a sudden it's not so easy to get to. And you've got people saying, oh, it's going to be easier for everyone, easier road access and so on. And then people moan about the congestion here. Well, the argument for me is that we're overpopulated, less is more. You're sacrificing character, quality, and dare I say culture for what? For mass amounts of new builds that many of them sit empty or just function as unidyllic, unattractive bars. Whilst this was real people doing a real gritty job in their home. London is becoming less and less of a home to the people that love it. I reckon that a lot of the builders here won't have any idea how much this actually means. And I have no family that I know of that worked in the market, but it doesn't mean it means any less to me. Same as Spitalfields or the Docklands. You don't have to have lived it to appreciate it and to want to see it remain, because it's a reminder of those tough times, the grit of those that came before us and the hard work they put in to allow us to be here today. For me, this is a grand anticlimax, and despite the fact that they're putting historic relics in there, because you're damaging Smithfield, you're damaging something that I already see as a working museum, I will still say that just because you fill something up doesn't mean it isn't empty.